Let's get it started. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. Everybody wants to play the sport to win the goals, and maybe just to rule the world. The other just want to pull you in to cash the win, and maybe just to pick up a girl.
Hi YouTube, this is VidHead85. Can we talk for a minute? Excellent. So I saw some footage of an exchange between Louis Gohmert, Republican of Texas, and Attorney General Eric Holder, where Gohmert accused Holder of not taking a congressional investigation seriously. Holder finally had the spine to stand up to Gohmert and say, "You don't want to go there. Don't assume that this is not important to me." Gohmert shot back that Congress was still trying to get to the bottom of Fast and Furious, where, quote, innocent Mexicans died. Of course, that was a dig at the administration. Don't confuse it with sincere regard for the Mexicans who were killed. Afterwards, at an NAACP speech, Holder said, "Forget that it's me. When have you ever seen an Attorney General of the United States treated like this by a House panel?" Everyone attended knew exactly what he was talking about. It was a dog whistle of a different sort, calling out racism without exactly calling out racism. See, Attorney General Holder and President Obama have often had to be very careful, whether necessarily or not, about talking about race. And when has race issues become a horrible thing to mention? See, many people look at it and say that Obama is bringing shame to the presidency. But when they look at the record and the falling deficit, as well as Obamacare working despite the hiccups, one has to wonder, what more is there to the story? Why is all of this blocking legislation that could work for Americans? Why all of a sudden are they blocking unemployment extension, minimum wage increases, pushing for immigration reform, veterans benefits, jobs bills, raising the debt ceiling that has all been bipartisan prior to this president? They are making the aforementioned things harder for this one president to do, but Reagan did it 18 times. What is so different about this president? Kenyan? Muslim? Any of those would be better than the truth. Simply, he's black. Attorney General Holder said that he never mentioned or said that race was involved, when in fact, to any person who has followed the obstruction from day one, when Gingrich was in a closed-door meeting of Republicans, the day that the obstruction began, it was no matter that Obama would reach across the aisle and bring a Republican idea to light that was spoken of between bipartisan presidents, Democrats and Republicans, whether he would do what presidents of both parties have done with recess appointments or fill vacancies of the federal bench, as he is constitutionally, as is his constitutional duty to do. None of that matters, because the issue of race must not be talked about, even if it is hiding in plain sight. When I point this out to people, they get nervous and say his policies are the reason, but when I press them for it, it's some Fox News talking points or some other think tanks of the right. If his policies are so bad, why don't they pass the law and let it hit a fever pitch to where the people demand its repeal? If equal pay is so bad, why not pass it until the backlash hits so much that women will go to Washington sick and tired of being paid equal pay? If minimum wage increase is so bad, why not have minimum wage workers get the increase and then say we want less money? This is the issue. If we keep ignoring and pretending that it's all good when it comes to race relations, even when we have seen, in fact, emphatically, that it is not. Even we have been seeing it in Congress and from people who have in fact went further than they ever have under any other president. Then we are all guilty if we keep silent. I can't keep sitting by and listening to George Will and Britt Hume talk on a panel with just white men who think discrimination happens when a person calls them idiots for expressing their crazy ideas on TV, and somehow they have the nerve to tell me that I am wrong for calling out racism in its form and accusing me of race baiting. Of course, people who've never had to deal with racism who can walk away from it whenever they like and don't deal with it on a daily basis, won't see their son's murder being ridiculed and played out and made fun of by college students who won't ever see themselves or their friends being shot at because they were charging at me and they were black. In other words, LWB. See, they always tell us that we live in a post-racial society. They say, remember Pearl Harbor, remember the Alamo, remember 9/11. Forget about slavery because it's over. Even if Alabama acts like the Civil War just ended 5 years ago, and Paula Deen slips up and calls me boy while I pass her plantation house. Again, like I said before, it is difficult for me to believe that racism is over when only racist white people seem to be the ones always saying it. Thank you for letting me talk to you, YouTube. See you later.